Good morning, members. The Secretary will read the order.
Debate on vote number 9, Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation Appropriation Bill.
I now invite the Honourable Minister of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation.
Thank you very much, Honourable Deputy Speaker, who's also the chairperson of this session. Let me take this opportunity, of course, to acknowledge you. Let me also acknowledge the Honourable Deputy Minister in the Presidency for Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, Mr. Seiso Mohai. Let me take this opportunity to acknowledge the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, Ms. Teliswa Mgweba. Of the Portfolio Committee of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, Ms. Teliswa Mgweba. Honourable members of the Portfolio Committee of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, Honourable Members of Parliament, Acting Director General of the Department of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, as well as all the other supporting staff that are here, distinguished guests, members of media, fellow South Africans. I'm honored to deliver the 2026-2027 budget vote of the Department of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation before the esteemed Parliament. We present this budget vote in a special year in our nation history as we commemorate 30 years of our democratic constitution. The constitution entrusts government with the responsibility to advance socio-economic rights and an inclusive society, thereby ensuring the full enjoyment of freedom and democracy by our citizens. I was just sharing with our whip here that I am now almost 50. I can't see well, but I forgot my reading glass. I hope I will be able to just manage. We also present this budget vote just 2 days after celebrating Africa Day, a timely reminder that South Africa's development journey is linked to the progress of our continent and the broader global community. South Africa continues to have a strong participatory democracy, which enables citizens to participate meaningfully and hold institutions accountable. This is made possible through a strong planning, monitoring and evaluation system, which makes it easier to see if their aspirations have been factored in the plans and to track the progress in the implementation of our key priorities. The Department of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation plays a central role in this process by coordinating planning in government, monitoring progress in the implementation of key priorities and developmental goals, and evaluating the effectiveness and relevance of key government programs. The department does this through accountability mechanisms which advance the building of an ethical and capable state by using Ministers' Performance Agreement aligned with the State of the Nation Address commitments, the Medium-Term Development Plan, the National Development Plan, which is the Vision 2030 of the South Africa we want to live in, the African Union Agenda 2063, and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The department understands that a strong function of coordinating planning across government minimizes the risk of fragmentation, duplication, and silos implementation. In this regard, in addition, an integrated planning system helps to align government action around shared goals, link policies to budgets, and ensure that political commitments are translated into implementable programs. Thereby, as South Africans participate in the next coming local government election on the 4th of November 2026, the department will continue to promote an all of society and an all of government approach to the implementation of government plans and strategic priorities, and periodically produce reports to identify gaps and work with stakeholders to find lasting solutions. Honorable members, we appreciate that this Parliament has consistently affirmed the significance of our department and invite honorable members to endorse the allocated budget to strengthen planning, monitoring and evaluation. The department has been allocated an amount of 532.9 million to implement the annual performance plan for the 2026-2027 financial year. This allocation represents an increase of approximately 18.8 million compared to to the previous financial year and reflects marginal growth of about 4% per annum over the midterm expenditure framework. The department will work with this allocation to effectively deliver its mandate and contribute meaningfully to improving the lives of our people, our fellow South Africans. Honorable Chairperson, following the approval of the MTDP of 2024-2029, the department facilitated the institutionalization of the MTDP, guiding national departments as well as provinces in developing plans that adequately reflects priorities of our 7th administration. A major area of work was assessed on 55 national and provincial draft annual performance plans to ensure alignment with our medium-term development plan. This process, which was undertaken in collaboration with the Auditor General of South Africa, marked an important shift from compliance-driven planning towards result-based planning. Our intention is to strengthen this partnership and drive the implementation of the MTDP priorities, and in the process advance the realization of our National Development Plan vision aspiration, which is of course the South Africa we all wish to live in. While there have been notable progress, there is still much more that needs to be done in strengthening the planning, monitoring, and evaluation environment. In addition, the DPME operates without an explicit statutory mandate, and I think Honorable Manye have been talking about that and pushing us for quite a while now to actually develop this. The department's mandate is currently informed by the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa of 1996, the Presidential Proclamation Proclamation number 47 of 2014, the Public Finance Management Act number 1 of 1999, and the Policy Framework of Integrated Planning of 2022. The absence of an explicit statutory mandate limits the department's authority to drive coherence, integration, and consequence management across government. In this regard, the department has started the development of a white paper on planning, monitoring, and evaluation. This is expected to be finalized by the end of 2026-2027 financial year, and will subsequently guide the development of a bill in 2027-2028 financial year. This bill will seek to guide the establishment of a coherent national development planning system, guide the process towards DPME's legislative mandate, draw lessons to strengthen coordination and integration across government, and introduce an enforceable mechanism for planning, monitoring, and evaluation for our country. Honorable Chairperson, the department is consistently strengthening its monitoring system to ensure accurate tracking of progress in the implementation of our MTDP. The identification of potential gaps and to drive implementation is very important. Through this work, the department produces its depth biannual MTDP performance monitoring reports, and they are actually happening as we speak. In January this year, we hosted a media briefing to reflect on the performance of government against the MTDP in the first 6 months of the 2025-2026 financial year. The department has finalized the biannual report of October 2025 to March 2026, and there are clear signs that government is making steady progress towards the realization of the MTDP priorities. Once approved by Cabinet, the department will brief the Portfolio Committee on the latest biannual report, after which the report will be released to the public. Our aim is to make these reports accessible to all South Africans through deliberate effort to disseminate them widely amongst all stakeholders, including members of parliament. The department will also produce a mid-term monitoring report assessing performance of government against the MTDP over the past 2.5 years. This will assist government to identify bottlenecks and intervene speedily to drive the implementation of the MTDP priorities. Following the integration of the Department of Public Enterprise functions, the DPME established a dedicated state-owned enterprise reform unit to improve oversight, governance, and sustainability across also e-portfolio. This unit has hit the ground running, working collaboratively with the Presidential State-Owned Enterprise Council, line ministries, and shareholder departments to drive the rationalization, restructuring, repurposing, and repositioning of the 26 major SOEs, including our water boards. This is aimed at ensuring that SOEs are optimally configured to support the national development priorities, strengthen service delivery, and reduce fiscal risk. To support this work, the department has developed a comprehensive SOE rationalization framework, a standardized national guideline for boards and chief executive officers' appointments. This is aimed at strengthening governance, accountability, and leadership across SOEs. The department is also ensuring that there is a standardized remuneration framework for SOE board members. These reforms are further supported by the National State-Owned Enterprise Bill that was tabled in Parliament in 2025 and the department's ongoing performance monitoring work, including the 2025 annual SOE performance monitoring report, whose findings reinforce the agency of the reform program and stronger accountability across SOEs. Honorable Chairperson, during the 2025-2026 financial year, the department updated several key evidence frameworks and tools, with their implementation and rollout becoming a major focus for the 2026-2027 financial year. This includes the National Evaluation Policy Framework of 2025, which was approved by Cabinet in February 2026, to maintain standards on how evaluation and planned, conducted, and used across all spheres of government must be done. We have phased out the previous National Evaluation Plan and are now implementing the updated plan that supports the NEPF of 2025. We're also strengthening partnership across the evaluation system, including the collaboration to be announced this afternoon with JPAL at the University of Cape Town, strengthening impact and on evaluation. We maintain similar partnership, of course, across government institutions and with civil society, academia, the private sector, and the global partners. The department also launched the Geospatial Information Management System, which lays the foundation for a national spatial data system that supports the spatial tracking of the MTDP implementation and improves the targeting of development priorities. Our intention is to ensure that the development is understood, not only in terms of what is delivered, but where it is delivered, but most of all, who will benefit from it. Starting this month, we have commenced with a series of provincial roadshows to facilitate the adoption and implementation of these GIMS in provincial and local government, beginning, of course, with the province of KwaZulu-Natal. We will reach out to other provinces during the course of this year. The department has also updated its data strategy with the development of a medium-term development plan integrated reporting system, a dashboard which monitors progress against the set priorities and target of the MTDP of 2024 to 2029. The department has begun with the phased deployment of this system, which is envisaged to modernize and improve the management of government performance information and support a range of reporting reads, including the biannual performance reporting. The department will also be publishing a development indicators report of 2025 to track progress made against the NDP and which is, of course, the 2030 targets that we have set out for ourselves. Honorable members, following this declaration of gender-based violence and femicide as a national disaster, the DPME continues to play its part in addressing the scourge of this GBVF in our society. Over the past year, the department completed a 5-year review of the National Strategic Plan on GBVF and the expenditure review of GBVF intervention. The DPME is now drawing from this work to provide evidence support to joint response team led by the Department of Cooperative Governance. The expenditure review in particular developed a standardized framework for tracking GBVF-related spending across government, aligned to the standard chart accounts. Our research in this area highlights the importance to target result-driven, multi-sectoral partnership in addressing systematic challenges. Over the past year, in collaboration with the Pan-African Collective for Evidence, the department also launched South Africa's first AI-powered living evidence map dedicated to addressing GBVF. The Living Evidence Map is a user-friendly platform which centralizes, organizes, and connects the best available evidence on GBVF. It brings together academic studies, community-based knowledge, evaluation, and government data in one accessible interface, and it is also designed in the main to support policymakers, civil society, and business and citizens who seek to identify gaps and understand the scope and solution of GBVF. In addition, We also work with the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities to develop an improved plan in response to midterm evaluation on the National Youth Policy of 2020 to 2030. Honorable members, as custodians of the NDP, the DPME continues to work with other countries and stakeholders to advance the NDP 2030 goals for a better Africa and a better world. We continue to do so with the promotion of strategic partnership with countries of the Global South and Global North through initiatives such as the Ouda NEPAD Presidential Championship Initiative, the Hamburg Sustainability Conference and the Global Partnership Conference, which we recently had the honor to convene and co-host with the government of the United Kingdom. In addition, we continue to implement the legacy programs of South Africa's 2025 G20 presidency by pursuing initiatives such as the Ubuntu Commission on Global Public Good. The department remains committed to deepening partnership that are practical, equitable, as well as committed to inclusive development across all society. Honorable Chairperson, the work of the department reflects government's firm commitment to building a capable, ethical, and developmental state. Through improved planning, rigorous monitoring, credible evaluation, and strengthened oversight, we are laying out the foundation for more effective service delivery and inclusive development. We look forward to continued collaboration with the honorable members in Parliament as we implement this program of action in service to our people. As I conclude, Honorable Chairperson, I would like to express appreciation to the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, Honorable Mkweba, as well as all the other members of the committee for their continued guidance. It's not easy, of course, sometimes they are harsh, but we appreciate that because it helps us to do what needs to be done. Let me also express my appreciation to the Deputy Minister, Seisom Hai, for his steadfast commitment and support. I also express my gratitude to all the members that are working in the administration of the DPME for their hard work and commitment. I therefore invite the House to accept and adopt the budget vote of the Department of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation. Ke a leboga.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. The next